Picture this. When people hear the word war, they imagine epic battles, thousands of soldiers marching in formation, the thunder of cannons, and history-changing consequences. But history has a twist. Not every war was noble, necessary, or even remotely logical. Some were so dumb, so ridiculous, that you can't help but laugh and ask, did humanity really go to war over that? From pigs and buckets to pastries and parrots, human history is less a record of brilliance and more a comedy show where everyone forgot the script. So, grab your popcorn, hold on to your Afro if you've got one, because Afroman is about to walk you through the weirdest, silliest wars mankind ever fought. And trust me, by the end you'll feel grateful your neighbors only argue over parking spots instead of launching catapults over missing laundry baskets. 8. The Pig War, 1859. Let's start small, literally, with one pig. San Juan Island, sitting peacefully between the U.S. and British Canada. American settlers farmed there, British subjects farmed there, and everyone coexisted. That is, until one fateful potato patch. An American farmer discovered a pig munching on his prized potatoes. He did what any hot-headed settler might do. He shot the pig. Problem solved, right? Nope. The pig belonged to a British man, and suddenly, the British Empire wanted answers. One dead pig turned into warships lining the coast and American cannons rolling into position. Imagine soldiers staring each other down across a field, all because of bacon. The best part? Neither side wanted to back down, because losing face over a pig was apparently worse than global war. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. No human died. Just the pig. But imagine the farmer explaining this. Yeah, I almost started World War Pig because I couldn't fence my potatoes. 7. The Bucket War, 1325. Now let's go medieval. Italy is known for food, art, romance, and apparently a bucket fetish. In 1325, soldiers from Medina stole a simple wooden bucket from the city of Bologna. That's it. A bucket. Bologna demanded it back. Modena said, "Nah, we like our new bucket." Instead of trading insults, they traded sword swings. 30,000 men fought. Thousands died. Towns were burned, and in the end, Modena kept the bucket. To this day, that very same bucket sits in Modena's city hall. Not golden, not jeweled, just a bucket. Imagine your history teacher saying, "Yes, children, this war was fought for freedom, this one for religion, and this one for Home Depot supplies." 6. The War of Jenkins' Ear, 1739. This one's as personal as it gets. British sea captain Robert Jenkins was attacked by Spanish coast guards. They cut off his ear and told him, "Take this to your king." And Jenkins, he actually did. Years later, he marched into British Parliament, pulled out a jar with his pickled ear inside, and waved it like a trophy. "Look what they did to me!" The entire Parliament gasped, then raged. Britain declared war on Spain. Imagine modern politics. Breaking news. Man shows up at Congress with ear in a jar. Starts international conflict. CNN would never shut up about it. But yes, an ear in a jar dragged two nations into war. Sometimes history isn't Shakespeare. Sometimes it's Looney Tunes with muskets. Cheers 5. The War of the Stray Dog, 1925. Dogs, man's best friend. Unless he runs across the wrong border. In 1925, along the tense border of Greece and Bulgaria, a Greek soldier's dog escaped and crossed into Bulgarian territory. The soldier, loyal to his pup, chased after it. Bulgarian guards spotted him and bang, shot him dead. Greece went ballistic. Within days, Greek troops invaded Bulgaria. Entire villages burned because of a runaway dog. The League of Nations had to step in like scolding parents. "Stop it, both of you. It's a dog, not a nuclear bomb." Peace was restored, but dozens had died. All because Fido couldn't sit and stay. Number 4. The Emu War, 1932. This is my favorite. A war where the enemy was birds. Australia, 1932. Farmers were overwhelmed by flocks of giant emus eating crops. These weren't your friendly cartoon emus. These were 6-foot-tall, two-legged chaos machines. So the Australian government declared war on the emus. Soldiers armed with machine guns marched into the fields. The result? Total humiliation. Emus outran bullets. They scattered into small groups. They outsmarted humans. After weeks of fighting, the army gave up. Australia officially lost the Great Emu War. To this day, Australians laugh and cry over it, and the emus? They strutted off as undefeated veterans. 3. The Football War, 1969. Now picture this, a soccer match that started a war. In 1969, El Salvador and Honduras were already in conflict over land and migration. But when they faced off in World Cup qualifying matches, things exploded. Fans rioted, insults flew, players were attacked, governments joined in. Soon, tanks rolled and bombs fell. For 4 days, war raged, all sparked by soccer. Thousands died. Imagine Messi scoring a goal, and suddenly NATO gets involved. That's how insane this was. It wasn't really about soccer, of course, but the matches lit the fuse. Proof that sometimes sports really are life or death. 2. The Pastry War, 1838. Yes, pastries. France versus Mexico over dessert. A French baker in Mexico claimed Mexican officers trashed his shop and refused to pay. He wanted compensation. France backed him up and demanded 600,000 pesos. When Mexico refused, France sent warships and declared war. Cities were bombarded, lives were lost, and eventually Mexico paid up. So yes, people literally died because someone didn't pay for croissants. Imagine France today demanding reparations for a stolen baguette. It sounds like a sketch comedy, but it was history. Number 1, the Parrot War, 1932, Brazil. Bonus round. Not in every textbook, but worth it. In Brazil, 2 rival political groups used parrots as mascots. One group's parrot mocked the other group. Fights broke out. Before long, it escalated into a full-on armed conflict between factions. That's right. Humans shed blood over an insulting bird. Somewhere the parrots were probably squawking, "Polly wants democracy!" So let's recap these absurd clashes. A pig nearly sparked a British-American war. Italians killed thousands over a wooden bucket. An ear in a jar ignited Britain versus Spain. A runaway dog dragged nations into battle. Australia lost a war to birds. A soccer game sparked an actual war. France invaded Mexico for pastries. And Brazil? They fought over parrots. History books love to focus on grand battles and noble causes. But woven in between are these absurd, slapstick wars that make humanity look like toddlers with swords. The takeaway? Sometimes we humans don't need a big reason to fight. We'll invent one, whether it's food, pets, or even buckets. So next time you're tempted to start drama with your neighbor, remember, the world already has enough silly wars. We don't need the great Wi-Fi password war of 2025. Which of these wars blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this wild ride through history, smash that like button harder than an emu stomping on an Australian farmer. Because trust me, history only gets weirder from here.